Hi Seagull class! Today I'm going to show you my cat Panda, but also a new lesson on how to make a bar graph. So we're going to do a bar graph on some of the measurements that you took the week before spring break, so you have those ready. We're also going to need some graph paper, and I just printed this off from my computer because I didn't have any graph paper, so that's an idea if you need some. You'll need a ruler, your pencil, you have your measurements, see here's mine, and some color pencils. So you'll take your graph paper, your math book, and at the top we need to write the title of our bar graph. We want our title to have something to do with what the whole thing is about, so I think I'll title mine House Measurements. And we'll underline our title. That way anyone looking at our bar graph will know exactly what they're looking at. Now, a bar graph has two axes. An axis is a way to measure and to organize your information. So, going in 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 squares from the side, I'm going to make a line, and I'm going to use my ruler so that it's a straight line that goes down like this. Now I needed to leave space over here so I can write, and I need to leave space at the bottom so that I can write as well. So it just goes down to right here. Now I'll use my ruler to make the other axis, so the other line that's going to help us graph our information. I'm going to line my ruler up with one of the lines here, and then draw a line that goes horizontally. So I have my paper facing you, and I have my title up at the top, my vertical axis, my horizontal axis, and those two axes come together at one point. See? Now, on this side, I'm going to be writing some numbers. And along here, I'll be writing down the different things that I measured. So this origin point where the two axes meet is always going to be 0, no matter what it is that you're measuring. You always start with 0. And for my purposes, my biggest measurement was 24 paper clips. And I have 24 spaces here or more, so I'm going to have each of my lines labeled in units of 1. If you have something that you measured that was pretty long, you may want to do different measurements. So I hope you can see here, I have 0 going up to 1, 2, and 3. Now if you had something really long, you could go from 0 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 and keep going in measurements and units of 2 that way. Or you could do it by 5, so you could start at 0 and go to 5, 10, 15. It just depends on whatever it was that you measured. So I'm going to continue writing my numbers in on my vertical axis, and you can do the same. Good, just enough. So here you can see I've numbered each of these lines. So that means that anything that is on this line, that goes all the way up to this line, you see how it says 21? That means anything that goes up to this line right here of the 21 measures 21 paper clips. And in fact, I'm going to write paper clips on this side so I know what my unit of measurement was. Paper clips. Now the bars that we make are going to start from the horizontal axis and go up until we hit the right measurement. So for mine, you can see that I measured my windowsill, and that was 24 paper clips. Panda's tail, and she has a pretty long tail, was 5 paper clips. And the edge of the kitchen rug was 16 paper clips. So my first one, the windowsill, the bar will go all the way up to 24. So I'm going to start making my bar here. It goes up to 24. And I'll use my ruler to make this a nice straight line. It goes all the way down. And then underneath that bar, I'm going to label it windowsill because that's what it was measuring. So anyone looking at my bar graph can see that the windowsill bar goes up, 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 up until it hits 24. And then they'll know that the windowsill that I measured was 24 paper clips. Next I'm going to do Panda's tail, which was 5 paper clips. So I'm going to look at my vertical axis and I see the 5. And so along that line is where I'm going to make the bar for her tail. And then I put the sides of the bar going down. Like this. You can see the bar goes all the way up to the line that's labeled 5. And at the bottom I'm going to write Panda's tail so that anyone looking at my bar chart will know that this represents her tail. Panda's tail, and the bar goes up until it reaches the same line that the 5 is on. Okay, my last measurement was for the edge of the kitchen rug, and that was 16 paper clips. So I'm going to look along my vertical axis until I see the 16, and I can even use my ruler because this one's going to be out over here. I can put my ruler down so that I know that it's on this line, and I'm going to put it next to Panda's tail, but I'm going to leave enough space so that I can write edge of kitchen rug. Oh, and I forgot to use my ruler for Panda's tail, but luckily hers was shorter, and so it was okay that the sides are a little bit wobbly. But we always want to use the tools that we have to make things look nice. So at the bottom I'll write edge of kitchen rug. So you see all 3 of the different things that I measured, and they go up to different points depending on how long or tall they were. Now, to make this really stand out and look beautiful, I'm going to use my colored pencils. And I'm going to use a different color for the different things that I measured. So for the windowsill, I think I'll use a light blue. This one's called Muted Turquoise. And I'm going to very carefully color in this bar. That way it stands out and it's nice and pretty. Okay, I finished coloring the bar for the windowsill. Next I'm going to color in the bar for Panda's tail. And for this one I think I will use a red that I have. It's called Scarlet Lake. And my very last one, the edge of the kitchen rug, I'll do in purple. This is called Lilac. So now all three of my bars have been colored in. Doesn't that look nice? It's really standing out and it looks pretty, it makes people want to look at it. And I've represented the measurements that I've taken now in a nice visual format. And that's the power of using a chart or a graph, is to represent information visually, and then people can understand it even in a different way. So you can use bar charts to record measurements. You can use bar charts to record maybe the heights of your family members, or maybe the widths of things also. You can use bar charts for all kinds of different things. Maybe you take a survey and you see that 5 people like a blue color and then 8 people prefer a red color, or whatever it is that you want to do. You could find out how long different animals are. You could do like a little research on that, and then you can do a bar chart for the different lengths of animals that you find. There's just so many different ideas. So if you think of something really good that you want to share, let me know and I'll share it with the group. Okay? Bye.